and they're going to explain all the beauty of their product. George or Elena? Hello there. Elena, can you hear us?
Yes, good evening.
Good evening. Welcome at the Safety Day of the VVP. The floor is yours, I would say.
Thank you. Okay, good evening, everybody. My name is Elena, and today I introduce Vog team. Today we would like to speak about the true audible altimeter, Vog altimeter. I would like to show you our presentation. Here we are. Yeah, today we're speaking about skydiving, and there are a lot of nice things about it, like nice community, worldwide spreading, tunnels, and so on. But today we would like to talk about jumping and about safe jumping. What do we need for safe jump? Let's consider two interesting parts separately, free fall and canopy piloting. For free fall, we need to know a bunch of altitudes, exit, break off, canopy opening. Generally, free fall is a time from airplane exit to canopy opening. And this time is limited by our exit altitude. And we have to know it. The second main point is separation for safety opening. We also have to know the altitude where we have to break off. We have to control such points. What about canopy piloting? We also have to control our altitudes for easy approach and landing pattern. So we have to know a bunch of altitudes. Also, there are a lot of skydiving disciplines like relative works, free fall, big waves, wingsuits. And for such skydiving discipline, we need to know even more altitude to control our safety. For example, relative works. How do we check our progression? Usually we do it after jump. We watch a video and then we can understand it. But if we know our altitude during free fall, we are more aware and we can control it, let's say, online. Or big waves. We can do grips change or separation waves. And if we know our altitudes, then we can do it even better. So for all of our jumps, we need to know our altitudes. How do we define the altitude? We use altimeters. And there are two kinds of them, visual and audible. Visual altimeters, which we have to check visually, and audible, which we need to listen during the jump. This couple of altimeters works well. Everybody uses them. But unfortunately, there are weak sides, visual altimeters. If we use them, we have to check them visually with our eyes. It means we have to interrupt our eye control during the jump. Audible altimeters. We need to set them up before different types of jumps. And as you know, it is not so easy procedure sometimes. So the couple of altimeters works well, but there are some weak sides. But just imagine, what do we really need? We need to know our altitude during the entire jump. Just let's imagine the situation. You know your altitude during all jump. from exit to landing without any additional actions. Just you will have it in your mind. Altimeter which can pronounce you your altitude. You don't have to check it visually, or you don't have to set it up before jumps. It just gives you real awareness of your altitude. It is not new idea, and it is quite simple idea. There are such devices which can talk to you, but they are not so useful, not so convenient. You have to use them with earphones. It means you have to install them into your helmet every time before you jump, what is not really convenient. And now I would like to introduce you a new device which is called Vog altimeter, and which can be called true audible altimeter. Let's get to know it. How it works. It is simple and useful realization of the voice altimeter idea. It works quite simple. During your jump at essential point, you will hear your altitude at takeoff or at free fall or canopy piloting. How does it work in real life? More exciting that you can imagine. After a bunch of jumps, some people need 10 jumps for adaptation, some people need more jumps. After a bunch of jumps, you will just stop listening to what altimeter says. You just always know your altitude during the entire jump. It sounds like a miracle, but it is our experience and experience of our customers. And at the end, your audible altimeter becomes the main one, and the visual remains just for reserve. It's quite difficult to explain how it really works. We tried 100 times, but believe me, before you have tried it by yourself, it's quite difficult to understand and imagine. On our website, we have a small demo. I will show you. Here is a sample, how the Vog altimeter sounds. Here we can choose which altitudes we would like to hear. For example, we can choose this one, this, and here. Let's listen a sample together.
2.5, 2, 14.
Yeah, that was a sample. This is what you will hear during your jump. You can choose by yourself what you would like to hear, which altitudes. Vog altimeter. Here we are. There is a small device. Yeah, it has quite nice design, and it has compact size and light wear. You don't need earphones for it. The altimeter fits easily into the most of helmets. It does not have any buttons, no buttons at all, because you don't need them. Everything happens automatically from the box. The altimeter turns on at takeoff, and it switches after your landing. It adjusts zero level. It controls the volume level. It has all essential altitudes set by default. And the battery can last up to 3 months if you use it. Sorry. Yeah. And up to 1 year without being used. If the battery becomes low, you will hear notification during takeoff, and it means you will have enough time for recharging it. Yeah, about the charging. Here we have a wireless charger, which you can use it, like for modern smartphones. And for altimeter customization, we use an app. I would like to show you how it works. I have a telephone here, and I will show you the application. Just a second, I have to close this. Just a second. Yeah, application itself. It has iOS and Android support. Here we are. Yeah, you can find the app in Apple or Android app shops. And for communication, just install and run it. You don't need to pair altimeter before. App is simple way to customize altimeter settings. Here we have a list of altitudes, and we can choose which altitudes we would like to hear during the jump and at takeoff. And if it is not enough, you can choose here some additional altitudes. Yeah, for example, we can choose 10,000, 11,000, and 12,000. Yeah, and they are here now. Here you can find the counter of your jumps, and jump statistic is coming soon. And there are a few settings. You can choose units, feet or meters. You can change volume from the low to medium or to high, and also you can choose language. At the moment, we have several foreign languages available. Here you can see Arabic, Chinese, German, Japanese, Latvian, Polish, and some others. You can change which one you want. If you want to add some other foreign language, just contact us. We are ready. Even if you want to create your own language, we're ready to do it. Yeah, and here you can find the device ID. Yeah, and that's all. That was the application. It's very easy to use. Now we go back to the presentation. Yeah, that was the application. All right, now let's talk about the most important issue, about safety. Safety first, everybody says. And what do we need for our safety? Our eyes are the main information source. We need our eyes during the entire jump. Use your eyes for the main goal. Check what's happening around you, and use your ears for checking altitude. It is the main idea of Vog altimeter. Just don't lose your eyes control. Do you recognize yourself? Sometimes shit happens, and sometimes such bad situation can be. But in such situation, you have to concentrate on resolving the problem. And Vog will help you with your altitude awareness. If you have such situation, it will be very helpful if you know your altitude, if you know how much time is left for you, and you know what you can do at that time. And if you have your visual altimeter, you have to lose your eyes control. If you have Vog, you will know your altitude during all your jump. Yeah, Vog is really true Audible altimeter. There is no need to check it visually. You don't need to set it up. At the end, it becomes your main altimeter, and your visual altimeter will be just for reserve. And Vog altimeter adds safety and freedom to your jumps. Yeah, and I would like to tell that we always investigate customers' experience. We always intend to make our product better, and we always are happy to get your feedbacks, positive or negative, all. And if you think you have any good idea, just write to us. And there is a big chance that we implement it. Our team has big experience in developing, and we are ready for challenges. Thank you for your attention, and that was our presentation.
Okay. Thank you very much, Elena. I think that was a clear presentation on how you see the evolution of technology supporting skydivers. Of course, one important question, everybody kind of likes technology, but not everybody trusts technology. For instance, if we have a lot of jokers in our drop zone, can they then just take their phone and use my Vog and set it on a different altitude or a different language? Certainly, I'm listening to a Japanese lady. How is the security in that?
You mean if somebody take your phone?
Yeah. Or can they take their phone and connect with mine, with my Vog?
There is a chance, let's say, but I think, yeah, I would answer you. Our product is already 6 years on the market, and there was no one such a case that somebody has stolen your telephone to make such things. Yeah, and 6 years of testing such device is quite a long period. And after 6 years, we can tell that it is reliable. There haven't been any problems with it during using, so you can rely on the device.
The point is, as you say, trust is good, but control is better, right? So maybe I would like to at least know that my device is correctly set, because like I said, it's only technology, and at a certain moment you start relying on it. So I have no visual way of looking at it before I take off, unless I use my phone, correct? So that's the concept. You would say, if you want to check before you jump, use your phone, check if all the settings are still the way that you would like to have them set, and then you're fine to go. That's more or less the way that you would do it normally.
No, actually, it can work even without your phone, because all altitudes, they are set in default. If you want to reduce the altitudes, the number of altitudes which you want to hear, then you can do it in your phone. But if you just take the thing, put it into your helmet and go jumping, you will just hear all altitudes.
Yeah. Okay. Do you get, when you go up, maybe that's also, when you go up, will it tell you, for instance, what the settings are that you have chosen, or maybe like to remember you that you have set it up to a certain standard, like the settings are 5.5 and 3.5, for instance? Does it tell you that, or?
When you go up, you will hear the altitudes which are set here for going up, okay. And that's all.
Okay. Okay, clear. Okay, I think that's something we have to get used to then. That's an experience we have to go through, but okay. I guess you advise for people who are not known to the product that they, in the beginning, maybe use their old altimeter and a Vog to kind of get used to the Vog, or what would you suggest?
It could be possible. Our experience is that it is not really, for people, it's not usual. You have to get used to it.
Yeah.
And some people need 10 jumps, some people need some more jumps for it, because it's not usual, but after you have been used for it,
yeah,
it's very easy.
Yeah, we had the same experience when people went from analog to digital. That's something that you might have to get used to. But in the end, it's just it is an
yeah. But it's normal with some new devices.
Yeah.
It's something unusual. And of course, at the beginning, people can be afraid of it. For example, some people were afraid that they could be probably distracted by some voice in the air. But after they have tried it and get used to it, they really find it very helpful. Helpful, reliable, and simple.
Okay, very good. So one question maybe from somebody, it says, what if 20 people in the drop zone have a Vog and you want to change your settings in the plane? Would that work? Or could you by accident connect to one of the other jumpers' Vog? Is that a possibility, or is it technically not possible?
You mean, could you?
If everybody on the drop zone has a Vog, like everybody, right? And I say, I'm going to do a different type of jump. Now I'm going to do a wingsuit jump and I would like to reset my settings. Can I then accidentally change somebody else's Vog?
No, there have been such problem before. There were a few people in a plane, there was a case, and it didn't work like you told.
Okay, all right.
I maybe have to add a little bit to that because we tested it and in a previous version it was possible, but I think we sent feedback, so maybe in a new update it was fixed.
Thank you. Yeah, correct.
That's something we might need to try out in that sense, just to check it to see where we are. Okay. Any other questions?
In the app, you can update your firmware to the latest version, so to ensure that you have the latest version.
Yeah. All right. Well, just out of experience, and I'm not negative. Don't get me wrong here. I'm just trying to understand the ins and outs of the product. I remember in previous altimeters, the Neptune, Alti2, at its coming out, also had some child diseases where your altimeter kind of restarted halfway through the mounting in the airplane. You might be familiar with that. At least that was about 10, 15 years ago. And that also gave some challenges in the beginning stages of the altimeter. Now it's a common altimeter, but in the beginning you had some child diseases. So I think the questions that some people were asking also was more related, like, okay, how many products do you have out there? What is your test experience in that? So those are some typical questions. And like I mentioned, if the product becomes a success and everybody at the drop zone has one, then we need to make sure that we're not accidentally setting each other Vog to different, because it could be kind of a weird situation to be in. Okay. One last question from somebody. What is the time delay to hear the altitude? Is there any time delay that you have calculated in?
There is no time delay. It is made like this. You hear your altitude, and the moment when you realize it in your mind, there is the altitude you hear.
Okay. Okay. Another question that somebody uses, a good question that somebody else asks is batteries. We all have experiences with AADs. We all have experiences with the traditional altimeters, and batteries there are always a point of discussion. Is there something that you can change as an end user or as a producer, or is it something as soon as, like an iPhone, as soon as the battery is dead, then the device is dead as well? How much cycles are there previewed? Maybe some info on that?
It is the second what you told.
Okay, so a number of cycles that you can use it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is there any life expectancy that you have on the number of jumps that you would normally be able to do with it? Or the number of reloads or something like that? Is there any life expectancy that you currently have?
5 years. That is expectancy.
Okay, 5-year expectancy. Okay. All right. Clear. Any other questions? No, I think that's more or less the questions that pop by. So Elena, thank you very much of giving that insight. And we have some people in the Belgium drop zones that are very familiar with our product, and I think for those interested, they can reach out or to you or to the sponsors you have on your dropzone. So that's
yeah. Thank you for possibility to tell you about the product. It is new and people should know about it. Yeah.
Very good.
If you have any questions, please contact us through website. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, Elena. And then we have reached our final session.